Hello friends, I continue to explain to you E.V. Lucas's essay entitled Tight Corners. The first 11 paragraphs had been explained in the first part, and now this is the second part. This is very enjoyable, very humorous, very funny essay. So I continue from where I left in the first part. I read 4,050 guineas. Any advance on 4,050 guineas? And the hammer fell. So the auctioneer asked, okay, this gentleman, means the essayist, had offered 4,050 guineas. Now, did anyone want to continue ahead of that? And nobody said anything, and so the bid was closed, and now the essayist will have to buy that painting. If he does not pay money for that, and then his reputation, his honor was at risk. So let us see what happens. That was a nice pickle to be in. Here was I with 63 pounds in the world and not 500 pounds worth of securities, the purchaser of a picture which I didn't want, for 4,050 guineas, the top price of the day, turning for some kindly support to my friend. I found that he had left me, but not as I feared at the moment from baseness, but as I afterward discovered, in order to find a remote place in which to lean against the wall and laugh. I stop reading. And friends, I tell you that from this paragraph I have taken the last 5 lines, and I have written an explanatory note on this, and you can find this on our YouTube channel, on WhatsApp channel also. So friends, I explain. Nice pickle to be in means this was a great problem, and the author had 63 pounds, only 63 pounds, and he could not borrow more than 500 from the bank. And how now he was worried how he was going to pay 4,050 pounds for a painting which he really did not want to buy. He had been bidding only for the sake of fun, and now what is going to happen? So he was greatly worried, and he probably wanted to draw some solace, some relief from his friend, and he was looking for his friend, but he did not find his friend. So he was greatly disappointed, but later on the essayist learnt that his friend was, he was laughing at his foolishness, and he did not want to laugh in the presence of everyone else, so he had gone to a secluded place to laugh in. Yes, please. Stunned and dazed I was. I pulled myself together sufficiently to hand my card nonchalantly, I hope, to the clerk who came for the millionaire collector's name, and then I sat to pondering on the problem what to do next. Picture after picture was put up and sold, but I saw none of them. I was running over the names of uncles and other persons from whom it might be possible to borrow, but wasn't, wondering if the money lenders who talk so glibly about note of hand only really mean it, speculating on the possibility of confessing my poverty to one of Christie's staff and having the picture up again. Perhaps that was the best way, and yet how could I do it after all the bids I had made? The staff looked so prosperous and unsympathetic, and no one would believe it was a mistake. A genuine mistake of such a kind would have been rectified at once. So, now let us look at the author's plight. So he was naturally surprised, stunned, dazed, astonished. So he he was feeling depressed. And so what could he do? So he gave his card carelessly, nonchalantly means carelessly, to the clerk. uh, and then he started thinking, pondering means thinking on the problem, how to tackle it. uh, this line, picture after picture, I have explained for you. Please see your WhatsApp uh, channel for this. So now he was caught in a very difficult situation. How to arrange for more than 4,000 pounds? That was the problem that was plaguing the mind of the essayist. Now he had, forgotten all the fun in bidding. More pictures came, and the people were still bidding on pictures, but this essayist was lost. Now he was just trying to recollect the names of his uncles who might give him money, or other friends, or other acquaintances who might lend him money, but he didn't get any plausible idea. And now he started brooding, thinking about the money lenders. The money lenders say, okay, it's very easy to get loan, but now he started pondering that, was it really very easy to get a loan without securities? Because he did not have any securities. So he was speculating, means he was thinking, he was pondering over possible ways of coming out of this bad situation. So he also thought of, say, going to the staff of the auctioneer's house and tell them that, okay, he was a poor person and he did not have that much money, and could they please put that picture again for, say, for auctioneering. So these are the different ideas that came to his mind. And then he was also thinking that, okay, he had been bidding for a very long time, and the staff of Christie's won't be convinced, because this was not a mistake, this was an intentional mistake. Because if this were a real mistake, then it might have been corrected at that very time. He might have said that, okay, sorry, I said it mistakenly. But now so much time had elapsed, and he did not know how to come out of this mess. I read the next paragraph. Meanwhile, the sale came to an end, and I stood on the outskirts of the little knot of buyers round the desk who were writing checks and giving instructions. Naturally, I preferred to be the last. It was there that I was joined by my friend, but only for a moment, for upon a look at my face, he rammed his handkerchief in his mouth and again disappeared. Alone I was to dree this awful weird. I have never felt such a fool or had colder feet. I believe I should have welcomed a firing party. So the sale was going on, but at last the sale came to an end, and there was a ring of people, crowd of people who had assembled in a ring there, and he was standing at the end of it. And the people who were, the bidders who had bought the paintings, they were writing checks, and they were giving instructions to the staff to send them these paintings. So he wanted to, he preferred to be the last person to say pay or like that. So okay, uh, his friend came again here, and he looked at his face, and then again his friend was laughing. So he pushed his handkerchief in his mouth to stop his laughter, and then again he went in search of some lonely place where he could laugh. The essayist was left alone to dree. Dree means endure. This awful means this horrible. Weird means this terrible situation. He had never felt that type of fool, because now his fun had been caught, and now he had colder feet, means he had become lifeless. I mean, almost lifeless. He had lost all his confidence and he was feeling depressed. Uh, and he guessed that, okay, rather than facing this situation, people should have fired on him. He should have been in the physical uh, traumatic situation, but this situation where there was risk of his being insulted, so he was feeling greatly depressed. I read the next paragraph. And then the unexpected happened, and I realized that a career of rectitude sometimes has rewards beyond the mere consciousness of virtue. A voice at my ear suddenly said, "Beg pardon, sir, but was you the gent that bought the big Daubiny?" I explained. This Daubiny means this is a type of painting which is of that same school of painting from which say uh, Barbizon pictures belong. However, Daubiny is different from Barbizon, means Daubiny did not belong to Barbizon district of France. And then the unexpected happened, means somebody came near the essayist and asked him if he had bought that painting. I read, I admitted it. And the essayist told this visitor, this person, that okay, yes, he had bought it. I read, well, the gent who offered 4,000 guineas wants to know if you will take 50 guineas for your bid. Now, this gentleman asked the essayist that okay, did he want to give his bid to another bidder, and that another bidder will give the essayist 50 guineas for surrendering his bid. Now I read, if ever a messenger of the high gods wore a green baize apron and spoke in husky cockney tone, this was he. I could have embraced him and wept for joy. Would I take 50 guineas? Why, I would have taken 50 farthings. I explain. So this person who was offering him a premium of 50 pounds appeared to be a messenger of God. He was an angel for him, as if this angel was wearing a green woolen apron, and he was speaking in very fast Konkani tone, which is the accent of London, and this was like an angel for him. And now he could have embraced and embraced this speaker, and he could have wept for joy. Means the essayist was greatly relieved because his problem had been solved. Now he would not have to pay 4,000 guineas. Would I take 50 guineas? So for surrendering his bid, now he was going to get a premium of 50 guineas. Why? The essayist said to himself that okay, he was ready to take 50 farthings. Farthing is a very small coin, and so why 50 pounds? He was ready to settle that for even 50 farthings. I read the next paragraph. But how near the surface and ready even in the best of us is worldly, or rather worldly guile. Is that the most he would offer? I had the presence of mind to ask. Now the essayist comments that okay, he was in a great difficulty, but now this gentleman has brought him out of that difficult situation, and now look, the essayist is going to be greedy, and now he asks, okay, is that the most? Means not more than 50 pounds. The essayist asked with his presence of mind. I read, it is not for me to say, he replied, no harm here means harm. This is how harm is spoken with the Cockney accent. No harm in trying for a bit more, is there? So the essayist says, okay, fine, but I think I should bargain with the buyer. Tell him I will take 100, I said. And the uh, writer, the essayist, spoke to the messenger that he would take a premium of £100, and I got it. And look at the luck of the essayist. He was struggling to get the money, and when he got no hope, he was going to confess to the staff at the Christie's. He was going to confess his poverty. He was going to face humiliation, and when this messenger had come to him, now he had asked a premium of £100, and luckily that bidder gave him a premium of £100. And so the essayist was absolved of the insult that he might have faced if this messenger had not come. When I found my friend, I was laughing too, but he became grave at once, seeing the check. So when he met his friend was laughing, but the essayist was also laughing, because now he had come out of this serious situation. But his friend was now serious because this gentleman, this essayist, had a check of 100 rupees and £100 with him. Well, I am hanged, he said. Of all the luck, well, I am hanged. The essayist's friend said that he had been hanged, means he could not understand this situation. What is this? Just a few minutes ago, this writer, this essayist, was in a miserable situation, and now look, he was smiling with a check of £100 in his hand. Then he said, I read, then he said, don't forget that if it hadn't been for me, you wouldn't have come into Christie's at all. Now the essayist's friend reminded the essayist that okay, it was he, means his friend, who had brought him to the hall of Christie's. Then I read, I shall not forget it, I said, not your deplorable mirth. Both are indelibly branded in letters of fire on my heart. My hair hasn't gone white, has it? The essayist now answers his friend. The essayist says that he will never forget it, and the essayist was not going to forgive him for his hateful laughter. Both, his hateful behavior and his laughter, they are indelibly, means they cannot be removed, they cannot be erased from his memory, and they are written in letters of fire on the essayist's heart. So the essayist asks his friend if his hair has not turned white, because he was greatly perturbed, greatly perplexed by this this situation, this type of a tight corner. Thank you, friends, for enjoying with me.